technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
Kerala, which is grappling with a health alert that sounds like something out of a science fiction story. Viewers, it is a very real, a very deadly disease which I'm speaking of. New data from the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program basically shows that Kerala has recorded 67 cases of a rare infection. Now that infection has led to the deaths of as many as 18 people. You may have heard it being called, quote-unquote, the brain-eating amoeba. But what exactly is this infection and why is it so dangerous? Let's take a look now. What really is this entire, disease all about? Kerala, remember, viewers, is on high alert. Name, obviously, as I said, literally out of a science fiction, but this disease is basically caused by a microscopic organism. It basically lives in lakes and rivers and also hot springs. It can be found in contaminated pools. It doesn't harm one if it drinks the water, but it enters human body through the nose. Now, this amoeba travels to our brain and it can destroy it. What are the symptoms of this brain-eating amoeba? Starting with fever, headache, a stiff neck, seizures, dizziness and coma. The fatality rate is pretty high, over 97%. So that is the latest. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is joining us on the phone line. He's going to help us understand what exactly is this brain-eating amoeba all about, and if at all we can take any precautions. So Dr. Bagai, over to you. Take us through, what exactly is this disease all about. Obviously, the idea here is not to cause panic, but tell people that prevention is the priority.
Hi, good morning. So this is actually described medically as Naegleria fowlaris. This is an amoeba. It's a parasite which actually exists in fresh water, which is contaminated. It can either enter through the oral cavity, ingested, and then it is absorbed, or it can enter through the nasal cavity, where it attaches through the nasal cells. So it goes through stages known as the cyst stage, trophocyte stage, flagellate stage, and it normally grows in approximately temperate environment in terms of temperature. Once if it enters into the brain, it causes what we call as amoebic meningoencephalitis. That means inflammation of the brain and the covering of the brain. And this can be fatal. It has a very quick invasive nature because of its structure of the parasite. And of course, early diagnosis and early treatment forms the basis. It normally presents with headache, fever, vomiting, loss of appetite, very quickly slipping into altered mental sensorium, coma, droopy eyes, blurred vision, and later on confusion and seizures and hallucinations, and indeed death. So this is something which we need to be more in terms of a public awareness, let people know that this is a contamination from water, and we should be very careful with it. And the drug of choice really is what we call as the old antifungal amphotericin B, which is not a very nice drug to give, but in case it's required, then it has to be given. So I think prevention is better than cure. Most of the time it is 58 to 60% is from swimming pools, taking baths in contaminated water, or water sports like jet skiing, water skiing, and 9% it comes to 10% from the nasal passage through swimming pools.
Right, and so could you take us through, preventive measures, if any? You said prevention is priority. That is what we all should focus on. The idea, obviously, as you're also underlining, nobody here is trying to create a panic. But end of the day, what are the preventive measures which one can take, sir?
Yeah, so if it is a fresh water and if you feel that it has, a thin film on it, if you feel it's contaminated, it is better not to do water sports. If it's an unclean swimming pool, definitely don't enter into the pool. In case you have, it is important to wash your oral cavity and the nasal passage quickly, and inform the doctor. Look out for warning signs as quickly as possible. If you're doing professional water sports, then wearing a nose clip will help, and looking out for early signs in case the water is contaminated.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for joining us with all these details. So that was Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who was telling us what exactly the disease is all about and the type of preventive measures which we all can take. Viewers, let's also talk about this infection, how it begins. It basically begins with fever, headache, stiff neck, which is what Dr. Bagai was also telling us. Then it can turn into seizure, confusion, coma, and it can also lead to death. The fatality rate pretty high. Few survivors have been recorded worldwide. It's the state of Kerala, where last week itself a 17-year-old student, this is in Thiruvananthapuram, who contacted this infection after he swam in a tourist village pool. Now that pool is sealed. The water sample are being tested. The state health teams are on a high alert. Inspections are also underway across water bodies. Authorities are closing down the facilities which are now deemed unsafe. How does this infection strike, viewers? Just as the doctor was also telling us, it's a contaminated water which can enter our nose. It can travel, the oral nerves as well. It can then move to brain. It can destroy all the tissues. It can cause a severe inflammation, not by drinking contaminated water. It's a rare infection. It could be fatal. What are the cure? Unfortunately, viewers, there is no guaranteed treatment. Medical experts have tried drugs, multiple drugs, some of which Dr. Bagai on the phone line was also mentioning to us, but the survival is rare. That is why the only reliable difference is prevention, which is why we are focusing so much on what you can do. Avoid stagnant water, warm water bodies, use nose clips if you are swimming at all. If you are swimming, then make sure the pools are properly clean. They are chlorinated. The disease is rare, but when it strikes hard. The message from doctors, health officials is clear. Caution is your best protection. What are the preventive measures you can take, as we were telling you? Avoiding of stagnant water, warm water bodies, nose slips usage, avoid pools that are not clean. My colleague Isha is on the phone line with us. Isha, give us more details. What are the preventive measures, perhaps, the public awareness drives, if at all, which have been taken by the Kerala government?
Meenakshi, so 67 infections have been reported from Kerala, is what we have been told, and 18 people are seriously infected, is what we're also finding out. In fact, Kerala is reporting a case of this particular brain injection. This is a brain-eating amoeba, and this disease has been progressing rapidly, and it is deadly. In fact, as of now, there is some cognizance that has been taken up by the Kerala government, but also the Union Health Ministry is yet to step in. In fact, this, as you were also pointing out, the amoeba does infect a person when the water in particular enters the nostrils. This is during swimming or diving, and this is very common because this is growing in Kerala also, because Kerala is an area where there is a lot of water body, there is a lot of backwater, and the cleanliness and hygiene of those areas also comes into question multiple times as well. So this is truly because of nasal exposure. In fact, Kerala Health Minister has said that there is a strong need to build strong defences, and people need to avoid washing their faces casually. So right now, this is only restricted to Kerala, and we can only hope that this doesn't spread further. So
prevention is the cure, and that's what we are also underlining, viewers' idea, not to spread panic, but to ensure that all preventive measures are taken. So that obviously is something which my colleague Isha was also telling us all about. We have breaking news also, which is coming in, viewers. So now politics, believe it or not, has begun over this disease. This rare disease which is spread in Kerala has led to a very similar blame game which we have seen in the past. It's the Kerala Health Minister which is blaming the centre, and now the Kerala Health Minister is citing a 2013 study to back these claims. I'm speaking of Kerala Health Minister Veena George, who's claimed that a crucial 2013 study which was conducted by 2 government officers and had identified this amoeba as a major cause of corneal ulcers with which contaminated well water was suspected. Now that, she says, was not revealed. That is the latest which is coming in. Imran, if you can just come in here and give us more details on what exactly is the charge by the Kerala Health Minister. I think there is a small correction for viewers also I'd like to make. She seems to be blaming the Congress, claiming that the then state government had not made this study public.
Well, absolutely. The Kerala Health Minister, Veena George, is blaming the Congress government, saying that there was a study done on this amoebic cases, and and whether the ED of government that time had carried out a study, but they were sitting on the report, not making it public, indicating that lives could have been prevented if the study was done in a public and there was more awareness done on this issue. An initiative should have been taken by the government then, and not making the report public, which was bloody and sitting on the report, had led to this catastrophe, is what the health minister said. However, the left government, the Congress has strongly replied back to the health minister, saying that she is unnecessarily dragging this Congress government into the issue, and saying that, in fact, rather than taking responsibility over this, she is passing the blame to the Congress party.
All right, Imran, thank you for joining us with all these details. So that was my colleague Imran who was telling us what exactly is the politics. It's the Kerala Health Minister who has now claimed that a crucial 2013 study which was conducted earlier, that she claims that study was not revealed by the Congress party government then, and that is what has put the public health at risk. So a blame game has begun between the Kerala government and the Congress over the brain-eating amoeba, the diseases and the deaths which are being reported there in Kerala. Imran, thank you for joining us with all these details. We slip into a short commercial break. News and updates on the other side. Viewers, please don't go anywhere.